two of our okay again. So hello everyone. So this is the part two of our discussion on the cultural history. So i-continue natin yung ating discussion. Wait lang. Share screen. Okay. For a while. Okay. Saan tayo nag-end? Hmm. So, nag-end po tayo sa preservation of intangible cultural heritage. Kaya ng sabi natin kanina, no? Kapag sinabi nating intangible, ito yung mga hindi natin nahahawakan at hindi natin nakikita. Because this type of culture is being passed down orally or through pasalita lamang po. And sino yung example natin? Ito yung mga binukot. 'Di ba? Yung role lang kasi talaga nila is to preserve, memorize, and preserve the culture. Kaya ang ginagawa na nag-perform sila during gatherings nila. Yan. Okay. So paano ba pine-preserve yung mga intangible cultural heritage? We have here, first off, what is intangible cultural heritage or the ICH? According to UNESCO, ICH refers to traditions, mga tradisyon, practices. Say practices, ginagawa, expressions, knowledge, and skills that communities recognize as part of their cultural identity. So, in short, lahat po ng mga ginagawa ng mga community or indigenous people every single day because this mean all of those are part of their cultural identity. Okay? So, unlike monuments, mga monumento, mga statue, or artifacts, kasi nahahawakan yun eh. ICH or the Intangible Cultural Heritage is living heritage. Ibig sabihin, buhay. It is passed down through generation. Hindi mamamatay yung ICH kasi nga napapasa po siya generation to generation. Mamamatay man yung lolo, pero yung culture is mabubuhay kasi napapasa siya sa mga kaapu-apuhan. Examples in the Philippines, we have the oral tradition like yung mga epic, yung mga chants, yung mga performing arts, yung mga gina-perform every gathering rituals nila like the dance, the music, yan, festivals, indigenous craftsmanship, and the traditional knowledge. So yan po ang intangible cultural heritage. Question, namamatay ba yan siya? Yes, maaari siyang mamatay kung wala na pasa yung culture. Again, maaari siyang mamatay pag hindi siya napasa. That is why, yan yung challenge ngayon ng culture natin. Especially yung oral, yung mga epiko, kasi marami tayong epiko. Nawala lang kasi hindi napapasa. Okay? So, maaari siyang mamatay. Pero as long as napapasa po siya generation to generation, hindi po siya mamamatay. Gets ba? Gets na lang. Sige. Next, we have the ICH in Philippine Cultural History. Ano naman po ang situation ng intangible cultural heritage in Philippine cultural history? First off, during the pre-colonial period, indigenous communities preserved culture through oral tradition, rituals, and craftsmanship. Ibig sabihin, paulit-ulit tayo, na preserve yung culture during the pre-colonial period orally, pasalita. Example, yung hudhud chants ng Ifugao, yung darangin ng Maranao, yung mga ritual ng Babaylan. Okay? So the ICH reflected animism or ang pagsamba sa mga anito-anita, deities, mga diwata, ancestor worship, and the community life. That was during the pre-colonial period. Now, we have the Spanish period. Colonization suppressed many indigenous traditions, branding them pagan. Okay? Pag sinabi natin pagan, yung mga nagasamba sa mga ribulto. Okay? So, dahil nga ayaw ng mga Espanyol yun, ang ginawa nila, sinunog nila yun, yung mga sinasamba nila, winala nila yun, binawal nila yun. That is why nasuppress yung ating indigenous tradition. However, pero the ICH adapted Nag-adapt naman tayo by blending with Christianity. Naka-adapt tayo. Pero, ang nangyari, imbes na sa nature tayo mag-worship, ang nangyari is nag-worship na sila or nagkaroon tayo ng mga festival na hindi sa nature nakatuon or nakafocus, but din sa mga santo. Yung mga Santo Niño, basta mga santo-santo. Example, mga ati-atihan, yan, sinulog, ano pa ba? Moriones, yan. So survival of ICH or the international, the intangible cultural heritage shows resistance and adaptation to colonial influence. Ibig sabihin, yes, meron nagkaroon ng resistance kasi pwedeng mawala talaga kung wala nang may magpasa. Pero naka-adapt din man tayo. Naka-adapt tayo sa colonial influence ng mga Espanyol na na-divert lang yung focus. Next, we have the ICH and Philippine cultural history. And during the American or the post-war period, westernization and modernization marginalized traditional practices. Ibig sabihin na marginalized parang na-separate or hindi talaga nabigyan ng focus. Kasi nga ang focus nila during that time was Western literature na kailangang ituro sa mga bata or sa eskwelahan, and then yung English education para magkaintindihan tayo magkaintindihan tayo between the Americans and the modernization as well. When it comes to modernization, gaya ng example natin kaninang discussion, no? 'Di ba oral siya? Pero ngayon, no, during the American period, nasusulat na siya. Okay? Scholars and anthropologists began documenting epics. Balik ito guys, epics and rituals recognizing their cultural value. So ang ginawa ng mga during the American period, may mga nag-document. Ang ginawa nila, yung mga epics, mga tradition and ritual, gi-compile nila. Yan, para magkaroon ng ano, I say shifted from purely oral to academic preservation. Magkaroon ng preservation. Hindi siya mawala talaga totally. Next, we have the contemporary period. Then again, contemporary. Pag nakarinig kayo ng contemporary period, that is the present time. The ngayon, now, ganon. So the Philippine government and cultural institutions emphasize cultural preservation and promotion. Ang kagandahan na lang, ang gobyerno natin may pakialam in preservation of our culture. So ano ang nangyari? So we have the UNESCO recognized yung Hudhud, Chants of the Ifugao, and the Darangin Epic of the Maranao. Dahil may pakialam yung gobyerno natin na recognize yung epic ko ng Ifugao and then the Darangin ng Maranao. So, ICH is now tied to national identity, tourism, and global recognition. Dahil dito, nakilala tayo. Nakilala din yung turismo natin. Yung mga magagandang puntahan dito sa Pilipinas. And nagkaroon din tayo ng global recognition, the UNESCO, okay, internationally. Next, ano naman po ang challenges in preserving the ICH or the intangible cultural heritage? First off, ang one threat po natin, first threat is the modernization and then the globalization. Younger generations may lose interest in traditional practices. Kung mapapansin ninyo ngayon, kayo mismo, may pakialam pa ba kayo sa traditional practices natin? Even the pamahiin, di ba? We are having doubts kung susundin ba natin or hindi. 'Di ba? So younger generations ay nawawalan na po ng interest in traditional practice because of the digital media. Ano ba tayo ngayon? Social media. More on nakafocus tayo sa technology ngayon. And then the global culture because of that. Next, urbanization and migration. Displacement of communities weakens cultural transmission. Ibig sabihin, yung mga communities, rural communities natin, ng mga indigenous people, humihina na po. Bakit? Na-displace na eh. Ibig sabihin, nagkakaroon ng land conversion, 'di ba? So, nahihina na po yung ating cultural transmission. Hindi na siya ganun kadaling mapasa. Okay? Next, commercialization. Dito pa yung papasok. Festivals and rituals may lose authenticity when turned into tourist attraction. So, ibig sabihin, festivals and rituals risk losing authenticity. Kasi nga, ang nangyayari, para lang makagain tayo ng foreign investors, we are talking about the economy of the Philippines, ha? Kasi it is all about business naman, when in terms of economy. So, para mas makilala tayo sa buong mundo at marami mag-invest sa Pilipinas, ang nangyari is na overly packaged na. Ibig sabihin, hindi na authentic, hindi na ganun ka-original. Ang nangyayari, nagiging exage na yung ating celebration ng festival para makita nila, ay, maganda naman dito sa Pilipinas, mag-invest tayo dito. Pero in reality, nag-overly package na po for tourism and for the profit or kita ng Pilipinas. So, ang nangyayari, hindi na po nag-focus sa festival or the reason why we are celebrating the festival or the ritual. But then, nakafocus na tayo sa tourist attraction. Mapansin tayo ng mga foreign investors. Next, another challenge is the language loss, ang pagkawala ng ating wika. Many epics and oral traditions are in endangered local languages. Ibig sabihin, pwede po mawala yung, aray ko, mama, pwede, pwedeng mawala yung isang lingwa o isang dialekto kapag, halimbawa, hindi na po siya napapasa. So let's say for example, ano po ba ang tawag nito? Ano po ba sa Tagalog ng chair? Hindi po siya upuan, but it is ano, salumpuwit. Ano naman ang Tagalog po ng eroplano, airplane? Hindi po eroplano. Ito po ay, correct me if I'm wrong, salimpapaw, tama ba? Mahala mo dira. So, ibig sabihin, kapag hindi na po siya nagagamit or hindi na siya nasasalita, pwedeng mamatay ang wika. Okay? So, kailangan ma-preserve po natin yun. So, importante talaga na pag-aralan natin ang history kasi dito nakikita natin na, okay, meron palang ganito. So, kailangan pala natin i-preserve to kasi that is our identity as Filipinos. Okay? Next, we have, ano naman po yung efforts na ginagawa natin or even our government para ma-preserve natin yung culture natin. So, government initiatives, we have the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, documents and supports local cultural practices. Yung NCCA po natin, sila po yung mga nag-document, nag-fund, nagabigay ng financial support, and nag-promote ng ating local cultural practices. We have also the Schools of Living Tradition or the SLT. This is a community-based centers where elders pass on traditional skills like weaving, performing arts to the youth. So, ito yung school na kung saan, hindi ko lang alam kung meron ito sa Tiboli or sa Lake Cebu, na kung saan it is a place or parang school siya, na kung saan ang mga teacher dito is yung mga elder. Ang ginagawa ng mga elder, pinapasa or tinuturuan nila ng traditional skills ang mga kabataan. Like weaving, paano ba maghabi ng tinalak cloth, ano pa, performing arts, paano ba sumayaw, paano ba yung traditional dance ng isang Tiboli, or yun, isang tiboli or isang blaan, 'di ba? Next, on aside from the government initiatives having the NCCA and then the SLT, we have also the legal framework. Kung sa legal framework, meron po tayong batas para maproteksyonan natin ang ating kultura. And that is the Republic Act 10066. Again, Republic Act 10066. Bahala mo kung paano niyo i-memorize. But then we have the Republic Act 10066 or the National Cultural Heritage Act of 2009 which provides protection for cultural heritage. So hindi lang government initiatives but then we have the legal framework, the RA 10066. Aside from that, we have also the UNESCO. And ang UNESCO recognition kasi, this is an international recognition na kung saan kapag na-recognize ka, na-recognize ang isang lugar sa bansa mo, it helps strengthen preservation programs. Ibig sabihin, mas madali na ma-preserve yung isang lugar or isang tradisyon or isang practice. Kasi nga, na-recognize siya. Yun yung isang advantage kapag na-recognize tayo ng UNESCO. Like for example, yung hudhod ng Ifugao and then darangin ng Maranao, which boosts pride. Pride siya sa atin, no? As Filipinos. Okay. Next, community-based. Aside sa government, sa Republic Act, sa batas, aside sa international recognition ng UNESCO, we have community-based efforts para hindi mawala yung ating culture. That is why nagadaos tayo ng ating mga festivals, local festivals. Hindi pwedeng mawala yung local festival. Dito sa sa Coronadal, we have two festivals. We have the Tinalak, which is gina-celebrate siya sa South Cotabato, whole South Cotabato, no, na province of South Cotabato. And dito sa ating syudad ng Coronadal, we have the Hinugyaw Festival. Kaya, naprepreserve yung culture natin. Next, we have indigenous groups. Yan, yung ating mga IPs. Yan, indigenous people natin. Here in South Cotabato, we have the Tiboli, we have the Blaan, we have different groups of Muslim brothers, Muslim and sisters natin. We have the Maranao, Maguindanaon, Tausug, and so on and so forth. And we have cultural workers actively safeguard practices. Meron tayong mga volunteers and workers na kung saan ang ginagawa nila, tinutulungan nila ang kultura natin na ma-preserve at pinapasa nila sa mga younger generation natin through magturo sila ng performances, mga workshop, and of course, i-educate yung mga kabataan natin about our culture. And lastly, for our conclusion, the preservation of intangible cultural heritage is crucial. Bakit? It keeps alive the identity and memory of Filipino communities. Next, strengthens cultural diversity in the face of globalization. Though may threats tayo no, na pwedeng mawala. But then, it strengthens our cultural diversity. And it provides a sense of pride and continuity linking Filipinos to their ancestors. And that ends our discussion, last discussion for our subject, and I'll see you around. Thank you so much, everyone. And do not forget that on Wednesday, we will be having our summative test. So prepare because it is not easy as you think. Okay? Bahala mo dira. So yun na yun po yun. And then on Thursday, we'll be having our final exam. Again, wala na pong special exam kasi finals na po. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat and see you. Bye-bye.